If we don't change, we'll become extinct. You agree with that? Yeah. Definitely so. We have to believe that. I'll give you an example. This kind gentleman here was one of the absolute best typewriter repair persons you could ever come across. Here's my question. What do you think he's doing right now? You're right, you better believe it. Yeah, he's not doing anything. Why?
Because he didn't change with what's going on.
Exactly. And we can clearly see that, right? We can clearly see that. And this is the thing, and this is sort of the lifeblood of our session together, is understanding that change is here to stay. It's ever evolving, whether we want to admit it or not, or accept it or not. Things will continue to change. It will continue to change, which means this gentleman here, yes, he had his time, but now he's extinct, and he has to move on, or he should have moved on. Here's a good thing to keep in mind. Lizards have a chemical in their body that's called chromatophore. And chromatophore gives them the ability to change based on changing circumstances. So for the lizard, if they're on a brown piece of bark, they can turn brown. If they're on a green leaf, they can turn. If they're on sandy white beach, they could turn. Yeah, easy enough, right? God gave us that great illustration of change. Here's the thing. We have chromatophore, or we need to have chromatophore. If not, we have to become extinct. We will become extinct. Give you some great examples. Here's an interesting thing. All of these companies, that's fine. All of these companies made billions, not millions, billions of dollars. But we look at them as cautionary tales, and we remember when we used to get our clothes from Montgomery Ward, and we used to take flights with TWA, we used to get our food from A&P, we used to get our videos from Hollywood. Yeah, computers from CompUSA. We just assumed it would all be here. I know, remember Bennigan's? I love Bennigan's. Oh man, I'm telling you. Yeah, because, and the thing is, whenever we go to Fridays or Chili's, we know that's a knockoff of Bennigan's. You know, so what happened? They didn't have chromatophore. They didn't change based on changing environments. Interesting, in Bombay, remember the Bombay company? Yeah, I still have a couple of pieces from them. I know, right? Two things. Eastern Airlines. Does anyone recognize Eastern? Eastern Airlines was so popular that Disney World had a ride just for them. It was called If You Had Wings. And it was a theme just on Eastern Airlines. Yeah, you remember that? Exactly. Gone. Yeah. But here's an interesting one. Michelle, you mentioned A&P. A&P. It stands for Atlantic and Pacific. It was grocery stores all over the place. And they saw change coming. They saw it coming. So what they decided to do was they hired a consultant, or consulting firm rather. And this consulting firm was to study what they did and also what the public at large wanted. So they did survey exhaustingly, just market groups and all kinds of things. So after a while, they came back with this proposal. And this is what they said. They said, basically, people want bigger grocery stores, more cash registers, a pharmacy. Maybe if they were shopping, they could get their oil changed. Maybe clothes even. Yeah, and matter of fact, toys. In fact, let's connect our grocery store to a department store, but keep it one level. That makes no sense in the world, A&P said. What am I describing? Walmart. All day long, Walmart. Exactly. So they had the formula, but they didn't act on it. Walmart is here making billions. A&P employees work at Walmart. The Medusa snail. This is an interesting point in personal life and also professional. When a Medusa snail is small, larger fish will come and consume it, because I guess for them it's tasty. But the problem with the Medusa snail is this: its shell can't be digested by a fish. So what it will do, it'll attach itself to the inside of the larger fish and begin to eat away. But the consumption process is so slow, the larger fish has no idea he's been eaten inside out. By the time the Medusa snail is fully grown, he's completely consumed the entire fish. If this was a crime, you can consider it an inside job. Thank you very much. I'll be here all week. I got 2 shows. Tip the waitress. No. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. We understand. When we hold on to stuff, it will eat us inside out. When we hold on to things, it will do that. So if we're holding on to the fact that, you know what, I'm a really good word processor. I don't even know what that means anymore. And or good at shorthand, or, fixing typewriters. Good for you and God bless you. But you're not going to have a job, So we can't hold on. We cannot hold on. We have to let go. We just have to. And that goes into, we can get into relationships all day. We can talk about a lot of things that we hold on to. But what I want to talk about today is the beliefs that we hold on to, because that's more dangerous than anything else. Give you another example. Circus elephants. When a circus elephant is a baby, what they'll do is they'll attach the elephant and heavily chain it to these heavy chains and attach it to a stake driven deep in the ground. Pull as it may, the elephant can't move. So over time, he's being conditioned that, as hard as I try, it's just not going to happen. I can't move. As the elephant grows up, lighter and lighter restraints are needed. By the time a circus elephant is fully grown, a rope attached to a stick, barely anchored in the ground, is enough to stop a 13,000-pound elephant from moving. Why? Yeah, just condition. But do we not see that point there? That you can have a mind condition where if A, B, and C is present, if these conditions are present, I have to do this or I can't do that. That's connected with something in our minds that's called dopamine. Dopamine is the chemical in our bodies that motivate us to do what we do. Give an example. If a person, and I am not promoting I am a drug user. However, if a person smokes marijuana, their dopamine goes up by 10. If a person uses crack cocaine, it goes up by 700. It's dopamine. And all of a sudden they're addicted, not to the chemical externally, it's the chemical internally. But here's the point. This is how we break free. Shrimp are one of the only beings that wear their skeletons on the outside of their bodies. So for a shrimp, every time it's time to grow, they shed their skeletons. So when it's time to grow, they shed their skeletons. When it's time to grow again, they shed their skeletons. Happens up to 26 times in their lifespan. With us, as we grow, guess what we have to do? You got to shed it. You got to shed it. You got to let it go. We have to let it go. So if we were actually tied to a process, a procedure, a way of doing things, a relationship or a circumstance that's really not serving you anymore. Sid Simon, a relationship expert, says there's 2 types of relationships, nourishing ones, toxic ones. If it's toxic, we let it go. We shed the skeleton. That's how we move forward. That's the change process. And if anything, the one thing we want to know in regards to change is this. If you have the ability to let go, you'll be fine. It's all about letting go.